Welcome. Today I will be sharing my learning about informal assessment and how I can use informal assessment in my classroom in conjunction with assistive technology. To start us off, what are informal assessments? Well, informal assessments are assessments that teachers can use to assess their student learning. They can be used in different formats to provide teachers with the information they need to proceed with their teaching. Informal assessments can be used by teachers to see what students have learned and what students need more time and assistance learning. Based on these informal assessments, teachers can make an informed decision on where their instruction should continue. Without this, teachers may not see the gaps in student understanding, and they will be less likely to give targeted feedback and reteaching to students before a summative assessment. Down below are some examples. Some of them we will be viewing today. The first example we're going to look at is student interviews. Student interviews are one way that teachers can informally assess their students. Students can discuss, demonstrate, and share their work with the teacher in a student interview. It allows the teacher to informally assess what progress a student has made with the concepts they've learned and informs the teacher of what steps they need to take next. Student interviews can allow students to share their work in all subject areas. Teachers and students can use devices like computers and iPads to look at student work. The teacher may also make notes or possibly record the interview with the student, parent, and school permission. In my classroom, one way I conduct student interviews is through today's challenge through Envision's Math 2.0. The students are assigned today's challenge for each day, and as part of their work, they go through and solve each of these problems. Each day we have a problem during our unit. I meet with students twice to discuss their work on the problem. They can record their work either in this part of the problem using the digital tools, or they can record it on paper. And I use this information to inform my groups for later for remediation and enrichment activities. The process gives me the advantage of a lot of one-to-one time with the teacher. The unfortunate disadvantage of this is that I do not have a lot of time in my day to meet with students, and so I'm not able to meet with them as frequently as I'd like to. Observations are another way that teachers can informally assess their students' progress. There are many tools that teachers can use when they observe their students. They might have students discuss with a partner. They might observe understandings through a Kahoot question or game Quizlet Live. They might give them an exit ticket on the way out the door. Teachers can also take advantage of Google tools like Google Forms and Google Classroom by posting a question to their students to answer. One of my favorite ways to informally assess my students' vocabulary is through Quizlet Live. Quizlet Live gives me a great chance to be able to view what words students know and what students need more practice with in my classroom. I appreciate the tools that are also up here too, like Match and Gravity, and the students even enjoy making their own tests. It helps me understand what words they need to learn yet and what concepts they already understand. This informs my decision making as I plan further lessons. The advantages of instant feedback become issues occasionally when technology doesn't work exactly the way we would like it to. Observations can also be difficult, particularly if you are not using a technological tool. You can only observe so many students during a pair share. Next, we'll look at running records. Running records are a great way to informally assess students' reading skills and strategies. Some examples of this might be DIBELS. It's a fluency assessment. Another one might be using Reading A to Z as running records. These are great resources to use, but you can also do your own running records right in your own classroom. Occasionally, I will pull up articles that students have read online. We'll use iPads, and teachers can even voice record with permission from parents, students, and the district. Reading A to Z is a great resource to use. I like it because it provides the teacher with an assessment passage, a quick check to check understanding, and a running record sheet. Not all programs provide this. The DIBELS only looks at fluency, so you do not have questions to ask when you're working with students. Portfolios are another great way for teachers to informally assess students. Teachers can collect samples of student work in any subject. Teachers can use paper systems, but they can also use digital portfolios. I keep my students on the Google Drive, and it allows me to view it throughout the year. It's a great system to review. Teachers do want to be choosy what they put in their students' portfolios. It is important to have the quality of a few pieces rather than a large number of items to view. To sum it up, informal assessments are an important part of teacher assessment in their class. They can provide teachers with instant feedback from a lesson. This is important because it helps teachers make informed decisions for their future planning. Teachers can also use multiple methods, including digital tools and assistive technology, to inform student progress. This makes informal assessments more accessible for students, and it makes the classroom a better place for all students to learn.